All right, here is our game. Going to be Torpid versus DarkHero. Torpid will be playing as this tanky Orc Warboss, and DarkHero will be playing as the Eldar Farseer. We're not going to spend too much time on their descriptions because we've already got some action going on. Shooters from Torpid will be bashing. They will be bashing this power node. Of course, they're doing it rather slowly at the moment since they don't have any weapon upgrades. Farseer looking to tie up. No, Farseer looking to take cover in this garrison. Got to be real careful with this garrison. And this garrison is... Got to be real careful with this garrison because of how... actually weak it is. It actually only has 150 hit points, so pretty easy to actually just straight up destroy that garrison.
The Orcs have a foothold here.
Ranger's going to be taking in shots, but these sluggers, where are these sluggers going? These sluggers are lost. He needs to get out of there before Banshees proc a special attack on them. Alright, so a model goes down on the sluggers. Make it 2. Meanwhile, on this side, we see these shooter boys, more like gen bashing boys, have been really committed to bashing this power node. Eventually, they do get it. My guess is we'll probably have Torpid move in to capture the power node as well as the victory point. While we are going to see the DarkHero, this darkest of heroes, playing as this Farseer, pick up the bottom victory point. Meanwhile, Dire Avengers moving in. Dire Avengers still with no aspect. So they don't have their aspect. Warboss is looking to move in here. He also does have the Angry Bits. So this Angry Bits, great as a gap closer, also just works well as, even just as a tanking mechanic, because it does increase his health regeneration when he does activate the Now I'm Angry ability. Here he's just kind of slowly chasing after the Dire Avengers, and I think the Dire Avengers will be lucky to get out of there without losing a model. Here, though, choosing to use it to go in. Unfortunately, I don't think a great use of it there. It doesn't get the disruption on the Howling Banshees. Will use the stomp to stomp them over, however, and then the follow-up damage from his shooter boys will prove enough to scare off the Howling Banshees. Guardian weapon team for DarkHero will set up and will catch the shooter boys in its firing arc. Warboss looking to move in there, seeing if he could tie up the Guardian weapon team, but he does not get so lucky, so that will be the Warboss going off the field for Torpid. Yep, it's a 1-1-1-win build. I might have said too many ones for DarkHero, just getting one of each of the Tier 1 units for the Eldar. Orc shooters looking to do some damage onto the Dire Avengers, which they will do quite well, but as long as they are not in the firing arc of a Guardian weapon team at that time. And oh my, do we have some Bleed Boys? Bleed Boys out on the field, lagging in their jump, and Use Your Choppers will also be put on them as they try to tie up this Guardian weapon team. Guardian weapon team, though, gets a heal from the Farseer, so those are some Spirit Stones, and the Use Your Choppa Storm Boys will have to get out of there. So we had enough red for Use Your Choppas, but didn't have enough to put Ard Boys on them as well, which I would have liked to see. Obviously, a big investment to commit both globals, but in some situations, especially where it's a situation where they look like they may be overwhelmed, I've lost my train of thought as I'm looking at chat, but yes, we do have a Farseer who does have the Spirit Stones, so that's the only war gear she has at the moment. Our Warboss still just with the Angry Bits. That's the only thing that he's got. I almost made the Warboss into a girl. Ranger's last model is detected and takes a lot of DACA from the Orcs, but does not end up dying. And, oh no, a triple Guardian weapon team from, sorry, not triple, actually it would be double. It would be double. So this is no longer a 1-1-1-1 build. It's always tricky to keep track of how many ones. It's a 1-1-1-2 build, because we're now about to have double Dire Avengers out from DarkHero. I'm actually going to say that I'm pretty sure the double Guardian Weapon Team is intentional. Probably meant as a way to deal with these Storm Boys, let them jump into the firing arc of another Guardian Weapon Team. Dire Avengers here throw down a grenade. They actually managed to tag a Storm Boy model. In the end, I think that's worth it. I think that was pretty good. All right. I do enjoy you guys in the chat. Sometimes distracts me from actually casting the game. Definitely one of the challenges of trying to cast live compared to just casting on YouTube. But map control definitely going in favor of Torpid at the moment. I was about to say DarkHero. Torpid with all 3 victory points, so it's a triple cap in his favor. Slug is in trouble, so it will just be an immediate retreat before they get hit with any kinetic pulse nonsense or get suppressed by some Howling Banshees. Dire Avengers are in cover, but they would be outgunned by the Shooter Boys. More heals going in on the Rangers, but they still lose a model anyway. One Guardian Weapon Team potentially in trouble. The other one is here, but of course we could see the Storm Boys jump on them. However, they're starting to take too much damage. They'll instead jump on the Rangers, put some threat on them, but they should still be in the firing arc of the Guardian Weapon Team, so that will need to be another retreat. All right. Oh, Shooter Boys getting so low here. They are not being they are being focused rather, but nobody is focusing on the Dire Avengers. So just some way managing to work that out so that the Dire Avengers were not generating much, were not drawing much of the aggro, and then they're able to do plenty of damage in return. Slugga is going to be looking for this victory point. Probably will be able to take it with the Howling Banshees moving out of there. Howling Banshees not deciding they want to stay there with the War Boss in there. And here's another upgrade. We're going to have that Bang Bang Hammer. 75 melee DPS, as well as increasing the damage of allied infantry, as well as speed as it attacks. Impending double cap for DarkHero going to happen pretty soon. As we do see the double Guardian Weapon Team getting that suppression on the War Boss. Torpid trying to get the health regeneration from the Now I'm Angry ability, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, as we see his health is regenerating pretty quickly after he uses that, and much more slowly after the effect expires. All right, Dire Avengers are not even on the field now. Don't even know why I'm saying that. There they are. They're hiding back there, not part of this engagement. As the Shooter Boys get suppressed, Storm Boys will jump in, but they'll find themselves just jumping into another firing arc yet again. Now, Torpid, since Torpid does have the smaller army, he was able to tech to Tier 2 first. He will have a War Truck coming, and that should... I'm not actually sure how long that puts a lot of threat on DarkHero. Since DarkHero does have, he could upgrade either one of these to a Bright Lance pretty soon. Howling Banshees do have aspect of fleetness, so a little bit less effective. And there is no snare at the moment for dealing with it. What's the health on this guard tower? 500 hit points. Yeah. The Howling Banshee's just going to have to go there. Go now. Meanwhile, here is the effectiveness of that War Truck, bringing the Slugga Boys over, deploying them to bash this power farm. However, Bright Lance is already purchased and set up. I think we need to see the War Truck move back just a little bit. Well, Bright Lance actually not even targeting the War Truck at the moment.
The enemy is claiming a victory point.
Torpid seeing if he can get just a little bit more generator bashing out of this by positioning his Sluggas as well as the War Truck. Okay, eventually the Sluggas will get suppressed here, so that means they probably won't be able to finish off even that power node as low as it is on hit points. Bright Lance not really in a position there where it could take shots on the War Truck, however. So Torpid doing well. Torpid doing well, at least in the sense that he does have... I mean, he's got a triple cap. He's got a massive victory point lead. We just had a second Banshee squad purchased by DarkHero, and they're both going to be aspect of Fleetness Banshees. He does, of course, have Spirit Stones. He's got the Rune Armor, so he's going to be looking somewhere for control on... Probably would be best on maybe the Shoot-A-Blob, but he could also use that, like, short range against the Storm Boys when they jump in. The War Boss attempts to charge in, but will just get knocked back by the Kinetic Pulse. However, he's already passed the Guardian Weapon Team's firing arc, and the other Guardian Weapon Team now has a Bright Lance Cannon. Big stomp, literally the big stomp. Literally big stomp from the War Boss. Not every day that I see that anymore. But does actually stun. Well, we will see the War Truck moving around here, chasing down these Dire Avengers. Where are these Dire Avengers going, though? What are they going to achieve? They can't really expect to get too much of a generator bash here. At this point, I think the best that these Dire Avengers need to do is just move around the map until they can get a good retreat path. I think this is as good a retreat path as any, right? Oh, could still potentially be retreating through the Storm Boys. Storm Boys notoriously bad at killing on retreat. Oh, Sluggers are in there. Dire Avengers are gone. All right, Storm Boys jump in. They do get a stun on the Guardian Weapon Team, but there is the Psychic Storm. It will suppress the Sluggers, so they're not going to be contributing much to this fight for a while the War Boss is going to use that literal big stomp again, but he's so low on hit points, and so are those Storm Boys. Storm Boys will need to retreat out of there. The War Boss, how does he even get out of there alive? Because there are no Banshees here, and even the Warlock, or rather the Farseer, needed to just get out of there. I think they all just jumped back into the Webway Gate, which will be quickly destroyed. And wait a minute. Did we just have an infiltrated War Truck? How? Weird Boy now out on the field. Going to be upgrading to get the Warpath to give him more movement speed. Weird Boy special attack! Weird Boy special attack against the Banshees. Oh my god, that absolutely murdered the Banshees. And what is the Guardian Weapon Team also cutting it really close too? So is this other one, 42 hit points. Oh, Tark is called in though. Starting to swing things back in favor of DarkHero. He will jump on them, does get the disruption, but there's not a whole lot of support for this Autark here, so eventually I think she will need to get out of here. Oh, yes, Hollow Field. Thank you, guys. I did not actually realize that Hollow Field would actually work on enemy units. In fact, I don't think I ever knew that. Wow. I mean, massive victory point lead for Torpid and DarkHero at this time. What is he going to do? He's got a very limited amount of time now to make some plays. He will get the decap with this Rangers. With these Rangers.
We have lost the generator to enemy fire.
We're going to need to see him do something about this War Boss. He's kind of lacking the range damage to really scare this War Boss off. I think it needs to be, I was going to say, commit a Kinetic Pulse just to knock him off. War Boss will use Now I'm Angry, but here is just the straight up flank. Or is it? I think, well, the War Truck is dead. Just kidding. War Truck is alive. Wow. War Truck does get around the firing arc. Storm Boys will be jumping in. Suppression Team, the Guardian Weapon Team with the Shuriken Cannon is gone. It's going to be the Psychic Storm going in as well. Literal big stomp coming in yet again for Torpid. And I think one of those squads of Howling Banshees is gone, and this is definitely... this has to be the final... Yeah, this is DarkHero calling a GG. What a game that was. Game is still going yet, apparently. Okay, finally, there is the concede from DarkHero. Although that was... Wow, I mean, Torpid. Wow, look at how good he is. All right, and then we actually already have a game going as well. Let's just make sure... I want to make sure that we actually have this. Yes, I'm on screen. Should have everything going. And I might need to change some things, though. So, yes, we're going to need to switch up some things. All right, that should be good. And now I'm pretty sure we are finally ready to get going. DarkHero will be playing as the Farseer this game yet again. Let's see if he can make it work better than it did last game. And Torpid or ST20D Bounty Bot will be playing as the Orc War Boss yet again. All right, Sluggers not even able to get their natural requisition point. Man, that feels bad, man. So the other Sluggers will be picking up the other natural requisition point. But yet again, we're going to see double Banshees, although this time it's coming right out of the gate instead of all the way in Tier 2. Torpid going to be chasing after those Dire Avengers with the War Boss, and he does manage to get a kill with that big shooter that the War Boss has. However, that time he does get knocked over by the Howling Banshees, but he will respond with a Stomp. Problem is, though, Stomp is now on cooldown. He hasn't actually done a lot of damage to the Howling Banshees. Farseer, meanwhile, picking up one shooter model in that engagement.
Adding support structure.
So our players really making it hard for the other one to actually keep control of their requisition and resource points. So many of these resource points remain completely uncapped at the moment. The contested requisition point was picked up, however, and will trade hands at this time as DarkHero takes it back. This Dire Avenger squad still not having any aspect up yet. Probably we're going to see the aspects come first from the Howling Banshees, but before we see any aspects whatsoever, we are going to see a Guardian Weapon team come out on the field.
Adding warp generator.
All right, then. So, looks like the Farseer will be getting a decap, so map control in favor of DarkHero at the moment, but it's still a victory point.
He who stands with me shall be my brother.
In favor of Torpid. And thank you for subscribing with your Twitch Prime. I do appreciate it very, very much. As we move back in onto this game, DarkHero, this squad of Howling Banshees will take that power, and we're going to see the map actually be capped up by, just capped up in general, by anyone rather than just being left uncapped. Sluggers will move on over to the side from Torpid.
Generator operational. Draw the runes. Ready the spirit stone.
From Torpid to get the contested victory point, but it's still actually a double cap against him right now, 2-0, as DarkHero retains control of both of these victory points, the natural ones for both players. And he's going to be moving in double Howling Banshees, each one assigned a generator farm to bash. It probably will still... yeah, he'll just take out both of them. What is Torpid going to do about these double Howling Banshees? Is he going to jump some Storm Boys onto them? He might be looking to jump the Storm Boys onto the Guardian Weapon team, but he's already lost his whole generator farm. Going to make life real tough for him. He's not even jumping in at the moment. Okay, finally does jump in, but now he's jumping into double Howling Banshees. Sluggers are coming in to try to help out. He does put Ard Boys on them to try to keep them alive. Here's the assistance from the Sluggers. Where is the War Boss, though? That's the real question, in my opinion. Okay, War Boss is kind of behind there. Storm Boys eventually forced off the field. So far, they have not lost a model yet, though. That Ard Boys keeping them alive. And the Guardian Weapon team actually got real low. So it looks like Torpid is eventually going to come out on top of this engagement. Can he even wipe a squad of Howling Banshees? No, he can't. Wipe the squad of Howling Banshees. Do we have the literal big stomp, literally big stomp from the War Boss, upgrading to that cyborg implants yet again? This is the first cyborg implants that I've seen in 2020. So, double cap in favor of DarkHero. So things... Oh, wow. Eventually, somehow, Torpid did catch that other Howling Banshee, and I was completely wrong. Unless Unless the one that survived was actually just this one that reinforced with... I don't know. Either way, DarkHero lost a squad of Howling Banshees. Are we going to see Torpid in the finals of this monthly Rumble tournament? Or does DarkHero have anything to say about it? I was projecting a rematch of Elite League Season 5 between DarkHero and Best Noob, but Torpid might be shutting DarkHero out of that possibility, but the game is still certainly not over yet. Double cap in favor of Torpid, looking to make it a triple, but DarkHero will have something to say about that. With these Dire Avengers. Dire Avengers have to go there, however. They do lose one model. Can he make it two? Can he make it all three? That would actually be super bad for DarkHero, but he does get out of there with those two remaining models.
We are losing a requisition point to the enemy.
All right, so it will be the Warboss. Warboss will be just hitting those Howling Banshees with his... It's a chain axe. That's the best I can think of. All right, so we still see the attempt of the Spirit Stones from the Farseer. That time not working out in DarkHero's favor. Those use your choppas. Just kidding. Those Ard Boys, Storm Boys, just proven to be too much. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I missed game one in this series, but from the moment I joined this series, it's seeming like it's all Torpid. All Torpid. I'm kind of like Torpid's good luck charm. Unfortunately, I've jinxed DarkHero, even though I was actually kind of rooting for him. I mean, actually, I don't know. Between these two players, I wouldn't actually find it that easy to root for. I would actually have trouble choosing who to root for. I kind of like them both pretty equally. But regardless of who I want to win, Torpid is certainly making an extremely strong case for himself. Looking to get the full generator bash courtesy of these Burna Sluggas, as well as, I mean, double Burnas, and then even just the Shooter Boys on top of that. There's, yeah, this generator farm is just so gone, and gone pretty fast.
We have 300 points remaining.
All right, Storm Boys jump in. It does get the immediate retreat, and there's a big stomp as well. That literal big stomp does get the full retreat from DarkHero. How many Banshee models does he lose in retreat? So far, it is, well, one right there, but I'm not sure how many. Well, I saw one actually killed in the retreat. The other one might have been killed before that. Wraithlord is out for DarkHero, and we will see if Torpid is able to turn, or sorry, if DarkHero is able to turn this around on the strength of this Wraithlord. Well, I mean, it's only Torpid getting to tier 2 just now, immediately buying a squad of tank busters. We'll see. Torpid, I mean, the map has really been painted red. It's certainly not looking good for DarkHero. If there is anyone, though, who can actually make this comeback happen, I would say DarkHero is the one. I've seen just crazy stuff out of him earlier on in this tournament. Unfortunately, it does also seem like the story of DarkHero is often so close yet so far. Where he is often making it far into these tournaments, but always just seems to be just shy of ultimate victory.
Adding warp generator.
All right, Tank Busters. Tank Busters, more like Lord Busters. Going to be throwing in some rockets on that Wraithlord, bringing it down to 978 hit points. Wraithlord even has passive healing, something I don't think I ever knew that until now, or actually until a few days ago. Torpid looking to be taking back the contested victory point. as the Wraith Lord looks to move over to this side of the map to see if he can actually keep the contested victory point in his favor. Howling Banshees, rather unfortunately, did lose a model, but they do get into melee, and that will be enough to scare off the Shooter Boys before they are able to complete the contested victory point cap.
The forces of gravity will bow to our Farseer.
Oh, we're going to see a Gravity Blade on the Farseer, probably used as a way of deterring those double sluggers as well as the Storm Boys. Warboss, however, will get a decap on the natural victory point for DarkHero, as DarkHero actually looking for a fight. I don't know if I like this. He's looking for the big gravity blade pickup. Those are lots of syllables going into my mouth at this time. Farseer is so low. Oh no, she's activating the gravity blade only right now. She's so low on hit points. Both the Farseer is in trouble, I think, as well as the Wraithlord potentially in trouble as well. Howling Banshees. Oh no, I think this is the end of the game. I think this is Torpid winning it. Because DarkHero is about to have literally nothing. Literally nothing. DarkHero kind of answering back in the style that that Torpid is using, which is this bot persona. Man. DarkHero, yes, just once again, so close, yet so far. And Torpid will make it to the finals after purportedly being on a hiatus. Supposedly. I'm not even entirely sure what DarkHero is waiting for. Is he really just going to make us wait out all of these victory points?
You shall have it.
Yeah, I mean, this game is done.